Before pickups ruled the roads, there were trucks almost nobody talks about today. Imagine dusty dirt roads, wooden barns, the occasional horse still clopping along, and then, out of the blue, a boxy little steel machine that could carry a whole barrel of apples and still make it home before sundown. That was the birth of the rare pickup trucks. Today, pickups are more than just workhorses. They're lifestyle symbols, weekend warriors, and sometimes even luxury beasts. But the ones we know today had to start somewhere. And those humble beginnings, they're often tucked away in old barns, forgotten garages, or dusty car museums. In this video, we're uncovering 10 rare and old pickup trucks from the 1920s to the 1960s. Trucks so obscure that even the most hardcore gearheads might scratch their heads. Trucks that shaped the very DNA of the modern pickup. Trucks that you probably didn't know even existed. And some of them? Well, they're downright charming, quirky, and a little wild. So grab your spurs, hold onto your hats, and let's take a ride down the dusty lanes of these rare pickups and their history. Number 1. 1925 Ford Model T. Runabout pickup. You want to talk about pickups? You've got to start with the granddaddy, the 1925 Ford Model T runabout with pickup body. This fella has its own significance because it's widely considered the first factory-built pickup truck, the one that set the stage for everything that came after. Back in the roaring 1920s, farmers, small business owners, and even traveling merchants were desperate for a vehicle that could haul their goods without relying on horses. Before Ford's little marvel, most pickups were just cars with a wooden bed tacked onto the back. Not very reliable, definitely not elegant, and prone to collapse under a load heavier than a sack of potatoes. Then came the Model T pickup. All steel bed, strong leaf springs, and a frame built to last decades. Under the hood, a 4-cylinder engine produces about 20 to 40 horsepower. Not fast, mind you, but steady enough to pull feed sacks, crates of apples, barrels of milk, or the occasional stubborn mule. Kidding, mostly. What's amazing about this pickup is that it combined affordability, practicality, and reliability. Back then, owning a pickup wasn't about style. It was survival, hard work, and getting the job done right. Today, the Model T runabout feels like a time capsule on wheels, a rolling piece of history, showing the roots of what would eventually become America's favorite vehicle. Finding one now? Consider it the holy grail for any collector. Number 2. 1929 REO Speedwagon. Now, if you think Ford had all the glory, meet the 1929 REO Speedwagon, founded by Ransom E. Olds. Yes, the same guy behind Oldsmobile. REO wasn't about flashy designs or fancy bells and whistles. They were all about making trucks that could take a beating and keep on rolling, trucks that would become the backbone of businesses across America. The Speedwagon wasn't a pretty showpiece. It was rugged, versatile, and downright functional. Originally designed for commercial use, it carried everything from milk crates to construction tools, and some even moonlighted as ambulances or fire trucks. Basically, this truck did it all, and it did it without complaint. By 1929, the Speedwagon was packing a sturdy 6-cylinder engine, a reinforced chassis, and enough horsepower to haul a decent load across rough roads or muddy farms. It wasn't about speed. It was about reliability, endurance, and getting the job done, come rain, shine, or a surprise mudslide. Today, these trucks are rare collector's items, with original parts as prized as gold. Imagine this little machine racing across a muddy farm road, giving you a glimpse into its pickup history. And if a cowboy from the 1920s saw one today, he'd probably tip his hat and mutter, "Now that's a truck that means business." Number 3. 1929 to 1933 Studebaker Coupe Express, J5. Next up, let's take a look at the 1929 to 1933 Studebaker Coupe Express J5. This one's a fascinating hybrid, part car, part truck, and all ingenuity. Studebaker, a company with roots stretching back to horse-drawn wagons, understood that people wanted both utility and style. They knew that a pickup didn't have to be a lumbering beast. It could be practical, comfortable, and even a little elegant. The Coupe Express looks almost like a coupe in the front, with sleek, rounded fenders and a charming grille. But then it surprises you with a practical truck bed in the back. Powered by a 4-cylinder engine producing about 40 horsepower, it wasn't winning any drag races. Top speed hovered around 50 miles per hour. But that wasn't the point. This little machine could haul produce, luggage, or even a small family across rough, uneven roads without missing a beat. Roads back then were more like trails, and this pickup handled bumps, potholes, and mud with surprising finesse. What's amazing about the Coupe Express is how it bridges the gap between car comfort and truck utility. Today, collectors prize it for that reason. Few survive in original condition, making any find a real treasure. It's proof that pickups didn't have to be brute beasts. They could be practical, stylish, and just a touch clever. Number 4. 1936 REO Speedwagon Pickup. Fast forward a few years to the 1936 REO Speedwagon Pickup, a truck that shows just how far REO had come. By this time, the company had refined its lineup into dependable, tough, and even slightly stylish machines. These weren't just workhorses, they were trucks with personality, designed to handle heavy loads without flinching while still looking respectable rolling down Main Street. This pickup is a classic in every sense. A steel frame, reinforced chassis, and enough horsepower to haul serious cargo across the rough, uneven roads of the 1930s. Farmers, small business owners, and delivery drivers loved it because it could carry heavy loads without breaking a sweat. And while it was built for function first, there's a charm to the curves and craftsmanship, subtle fender lines, a bold grille, and that unmistakable built-to-last vibe. Even in the 1930s, trucks like this were more than tools. They were statements. Collectors today treasure restored models for both their rugged durability and their historical significance. Owning one is like holding a slice of Americana, a rolling time capsule. Driving it, you can almost hear the clatter of old dirt roads beneath the wheels and imagine a cowboy tipping his hat, muttering, "Now that's a truck that knows its business." It's proof that pickups were evolving, becoming the versatile machines we cherish today. Number 5. 1939 Hudson Big Boy Pickup. Now, let's talk about a beast you probably didn't expect. The 1939 Hudson Big Boy Pickup. Hudson, already famous for its innovative step-down car design, decided to flex its muscle in the pickup world too. And boy, did they deliver. The Big Boy was built not just to haul heavy loads, but to impress anyone who laid eyes on it. Back in 1939, roads weren't paved like today. They were rough, dusty, and downright unforgiving. Businesses and farmers needed trucks that could carry hefty loads without bending, breaking, or collapsing in a cloud of dirt. The Big Boy's reinforced steel frame handled all of that with ease. Under the hood, a flathead six-cylinder engine pushed around 90 horsepower. Not a race car, but sprightly enough for a truck of its size. Top speed? About 55 miles per hour, which was more than enough for hauling freight or lumber along winding country roads. What makes this pickup fascinating is the styling. Unlike the boxy, purely functional trucks of the era, Hudson added sleek lines, hints of Art Deco, a bold grille, and a stance that made it look almost regal. You can easily imagine a cowboy tipping his hat as this truck rumbled down Main Street muttering, "Well, that's a fancy hauler." Today, surviving Hudson Big Boys are extremely rare. Restored examples gleam at truck shows, proving that even a workhorse can be elegant and rugged at the same time. This truck marks one of the earliest examples of the style plus function philosophy that still influences pickups today. Number 6. 1938 to 1939. Studebaker Coupe Express. Variations. Back to Studebaker, because these trucks just can't be ignored. The Coupe Express line continued evolving through the late 1930s, and by this time, it was a serious contender in the pickup world. These weren't just trucks. They were practical works of art on wheels, merging functionality with a surprising touch of style. Picture the front end, sleek coupe-like lines, rounded fenders, and a grille you'd be proud to show off at the town square. Then you glance at the rear bed, and it firmly reminds you, "Don't get too fancy, I'm still here to work." That dual personality is what made the Coupe Express so remarkable. Under the hood sat a six-cylinder engine producing about 85 horsepower, paired with a 3-speed manual gearbox. It could haul produce, tools, furniture, heck, maybe even a small herd of sheep, assuming they behaved. Top speed hovered around 60 miles per hour, which for the uneven, bumpy roads of 1938 felt downright speedy. Collectors today adore the Coupe Express for its hybrid charm. Part luxury, part farm truck, part city utility vehicle. Few survive in original condition, and restored examples often steal the show at classic car events. Even 80 years ago, trucks like this were evolving from pure utility to a clever blend of personality, style, and function, a philosophy that continues to influence pickups today. Number 7. 1947. Willys Jeep Truck. Now, the war is over, and the world's roads are changing. Enter the 1947 Willys Jeep truck, a direct descendant of the military Jeeps that had left an indelible mark during World War II. This little machine wasn't flashy, but it was built tough, smart, and versatile. Exactly what post-war America needed. You probably didn't know that this compact pickup could handle just about anything. Narrow rural roads, muddy farms, steep hills, and even light off-road trails. The Willys tackled them all with ease. Under the hood sat a 134 cubic inch Go Devil engine producing 60 horsepower. Not the fastest pickup around, with a top speed of about 55 miles per hour. But speed wasn't the point. This truck was built for survival, endurance, and sheer practicality. It could climb hills and pull loads that would make many other trucks groan in protest. The Willys Jeep truck was quirky too. Its compact size, simple flat fenders, and unmistakable silhouette made it instantly recognizable. For small businesses and rural families, it was a godsend. Affordable, practical, and ridiculously tough. Today, collectors treasure Willys pickups for their military heritage. Restore one, and you have a truck that's part history, part legend. And if a cowboy from the 1940s saw it rolling down the road today, he'd tip his hat and mutter, "Well, I'll be, that little thing's still kickin'." Number 8. 1948. Diamond T Model 201 Pickup. Next up, the 1948 Diamond T Model 201, affectionately known as the Cadillac of trucks. And for good reason, this beast was built like a tank, yet rode smoother than a bourbon on a Sunday morning. Diamond T, a Chicago-based company, had been crafting high-quality trucks since 1905, and by 1948, the Model 201 was nothing short of a masterpiece of American engineering. Under the hood, Hercules engines powered these monsters, paired with Warner gear transmissions for reliability. The reinforced frames were built to last. Hydraulic brakes provided modern stopping power, and robust axles allowed it to carry massive loads, up to 8,000 pounds GVWR. This wasn't just brute strength. It was thoughtful design and durability rolled into one. What makes the Model 201 truly stand out is the combination of power and finesse. Unlike most trucks of the era, which were purely utilitarian, the Diamond T offered a refined ride, ergonomic controls, and styling that made it look downright impressive, even while hauling bricks, barrels, or farm equipment. Today, these trucks are highly collectible. Restored Diamond Ts often fetch top dollar at auctions, admired not just for their strength, but for their rarity and craftsmanship. Driving one now, you feel the history, the weight, the sheer power, and maybe even a little respect for the engineers who designed a pickup capable of handling anything America could throw its way. Number 9. 1947 to 1953 Chevrolet Advanced Design Pickup. Now we hit a classic, the Chevy Advanced Design Pickup. Post-war America had changed, and so had its roads, cities, and families. The advanced design trucks weren't just tools. They were icons of an era, a symbol of hard work meeting style. Chevrolet designed these pickups to be functional, reliable, and appealing to the masses, giving everyday folks a truck they could depend on without breaking the bank. The design was simple yet memorable. Rounded cabs, large windshields, smooth lines, and a slightly elevated stance that made it look confident on any road. Under the hood, inline-six engines producing about 90 horsepower powered the trucks, paired with sturdy 3-speed manual transmissions. It could haul anything from produce and tools to furniture. Heck, maybe even a small herd of cows if you were feeling adventurous. Roads back then could be bumpy, muddy, or downright unpredictable, and the advanced design handled it all with poise. What makes this pickup special is its ubiquity and charm. Farmers, small-town businesses, city workers, almost everyone had one at some point. Today, restored examples are prized by collectors, and seeing one cruising down a street feels like catching a rolling piece of history. A cowboy spotting it back in the day might tip his hat and mutter, "Well now, that ain't no horse, but it'll get you there mighty fine." Number 10. 1950s. Nash Hall Thrift / Other Rare 50s. Light-duty trucks. Finally, let's talk about the rare 1950s. Nash Hall Thrift and other similar light-duty pickups. Nash, a company better known for compact cars and clever engineering, decided to dip its toes into the pickup market with these quirky, lesser-known models. And while they never achieved the fame of a Ford or Chevy, they were innovative, practical, and full of character. These trucks were small, nimble, and sometimes a little odd-looking. Some featured rounded noses, tiny truck beds, and modest engines, usually 4- or 6-cylinder options producing 60 to 80 horsepower. Top speed hovered around 50 to 55 miles per hour, which was just enough to keep pace on winding country roads or suburban streets. They weren't designed to haul massive loads or race down highways, but they could handle the everyday work of small businesses, suburban deliveries, or farms that didn't need a monster truck. What's truly amazing about Nash pickups is their rarity and ingenuity. Unlike mass-produced giants, they were niche vehicles, a glimpse into a more specialized side of pickup evolution. Today, surviving examples are collectors' treasures, quirky, rare, and full of personality. These trucks mark the final chapter in our journey, bridging the gap between purely utilitarian pickups and the more specialized, consumer-friendly trucks of the late 1950s and early 1960s. They're a reminder that even small trucks can leave a big legacy. And there you have it, 10 rare and old pickups that helped shape the modern truck. From the humble 1925 Ford Model T runabout to the quirky Nash Hall Thrift, each truck tells a story about innovation, survival, style, and practicality. These pickups were more than machines. They were companions, workhorses, and sometimes even status symbols. They taught us that trucks could be rugged yet refined, functional yet stylish. And as you look at today's pickups, Fords, Chevys, Dodges, and more, you can trace their DNA back to these rare and forgotten classics. Whether you're a collector, a history buff, or just someone who loves a good story on wheels, these pickups deserve a tip of the hat. They remind us where we came from: dusty roads, wooden barns, hard work, and bold innovation, all rolled into steel frames that still make hearts race today. So next time you see a modern pickup gleaming in the sunlight, remember, it's carrying the spirit of over half a century of innovation, grit, and Americana on its wheels. If you loved this trip down pickup memory lane, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share your favorite rare truck story, or tell us which one you'd love to see restored to glory. And if you spot one of these classics on the road, snap a pic and tip your hat, partner. History's rolling past, one wheel at a time.